Ibadan, the city of brown roofs. A peaceful city. But in 2014, in the Soka area along the Ogunpa River, something was wrong. For 10 years, residents walked past a dense forest. They saw madmen wandering around. They smelled a strange odor. They ignored it. They didn't know that the madmen were guards, and the forest was a factory.
Breaking news. Hundreds of bodies found in Soka Forest. It is a house of horror.
This is the story of how a human abattoir operated in plain sight, and the conspiracy that tried to bury the truth. How did hundreds of people disappear without a trace? The survivors revealed a terrifying method. It wasn't force, it was deception. Meet Tunde, a young professional. On a Monday morning, he hailed a taxi. Tunde entered. He saw two other passengers sleeping. He thought they were tired. He was wrong, they were drugged. The driver offered him a handkerchief to wipe his sweat.
As soon as the cloth touched my face, the lights went out.
When Tunde woke up, he wasn't in Dugbe. He was in hell. Tunde opened his eyes. He was chained to a concrete block. He wasn't alone. There were dozens of others. Men, women, some with skeletons barely breathing. Others were fresh. This wasn't a shrine, it was a business. The captors didn't kill everyone immediately. They kept them like livestock, fattening some, starving others. They had a list. At night, a jeep would come, a big black car. Tunde watched as the person next to him was unchained.
You, stand up! The master is here for the package.
And dragged into the darkness. He heard a scream. Then, the sound of a machete hitting bone. Then silence. The jeep drove away. Tunde realized he was spare parts in a warehouse. The cruelty didn't stop at chains. The survivors revealed a darker method of control. They were injected with strange substances. Locally made drugs designed to wipe their memories. This was the syndicate's insurance policy. If a victim managed to escape, they wouldn't run to the police. They would wander the streets, babbling, looking like just another madman. The disguise was perfect. The victims were hidden behind their own insanity. Among the piles of clothes, the youth found something that broke the heart of the nation: an NYSC uniform.
See this Corp member, he is declared missing.
For years, Corps members posted to Oyo State had been vanishing. Parents were told their children absconded or ran away. The Soka discovery changed the narrative. These graduates weren't runaways, they were victims. They came to serve their fatherland. Instead, they ended up in a concrete cell, waiting for a black jeep to take them away. Amidst the death, there was one miracle. Her name was Titi. She was so thin, the kidnappers thought she was dead. They threw her onto a pile of corpses to rot.
This one is useless. She died too fast. No meat on the bone.
But when the youth broke in, they saw a hand move. Titi was pulled from the pile. She couldn't speak. She couldn't walk. But she was alive. She was the witness that death couldn't swallow.
Get me aid. Let me give her first aid, please.
But the genius of Soka was the security. Why did no one suspect anything? Because the guards were disguised as lunatics. They wore rags. They had matted hair. They muttered to themselves. But Tunde saw the truth. When the sun went down, the madness stopped. Tunde saw a madman pull out a brand new Blackberry phone. He spoke clear, perfect English.
Shipment is ready. Bring the cash. No transfers.
This is the detail that chills the blood. The destitute man you give money to on the street might be a millionaire kidnapper watching you. Perhaps the most disturbing fact is that Soka was not in the middle of nowhere. It was next to a bustling mechanic village.
What thing they smell like this? This thing they smell like human being.
For years, workers complained about the smell of rotting flesh. They heard cries at night. Several brave mechanics went to the police. They were told to shut up. Some were threatened with arrest. It became an open secret. "Don't go near the forest," they whispered. The big men owned that place. The silence was bought with fear. The Empire of Blood lasted 10 years. It ended because of an Okada rider. A commercial cyclist heard a voice calling from the bush. The rider moved closer to the abandoned building. He peered through a crack in the wall. Skeletons. He ran back to the road. He didn't call the police immediately. He called the youth. The boys of the area gathered. They carried sticks and machetes. They stormed the forest. The rescue should have been a victory, but it turned into a war. When the police arrived, they didn't storm the forest immediately. Instead, they fired tear gas at the angry youth who were trying to save the victims. The crowd was confused. Why were the police attacking the rescuers? Witnesses claimed they saw officers protecting the Madmen suspects, shielding them from the mob's justice. Was it procedure, or was it protection? The tear gas smoke hid many secrets that day. When the youth finally broke the gates, the smell hit them first. They found bodies dumped in open wells. They found a tunnel leading underground, but the most shocking discovery was the belongings. Piles of shoes, baby clothes, and documents. They found international passports, driver's licenses. These were not homeless people. These were doctors, bankers, students. They found official government letterheads scattered on the floor.
You will be fine.
Who was sponsoring this facility? It wasn't just a slaughterhouse. It was a graveyard of dreams. In a storage room, the youth found hundreds of suitcases, packed bags. These belonged to people who were traveling, people moving to Lagos for a new job, people going to the airport to fly abroad. They said goodbye to their families, got into a taxi, and vanished. Their families thought they arrived safely. They never knew their loved ones were just a few miles away, trapped in concrete. But the biggest question remained: who owned the land? Investigations revealed a shocking twist. Soka was not a random forest. It was allegedly an abandoned government site, originally earmarked for a psychiatric facility or urban renewal. The Madmen weren't squatters. Some rumors suggest they were originally placed there by the system, then abandoned, until the organ syndicate took over. How did a government-allocated land become a human abattoir? And why were there no inspections for 10 years? The news went viral. The governor arrived, the police arrived, but then something strange happened. Instead of sealing the area as a crime scene for investigation,
This is not acceptable. We must act now.
the bulldozers arrived. Within days, the government ordered the demolition of the Soka Forest. Walls were crushed, tunnels were filled, evidence was buried under tons of rubble. Critics asked, why the rush? Were they destroying the hideout, or were they destroying the list of sponsors? The police announced victory. They arrested the guards.
I didn't do it.
They arrested the coordinator, Badegas and Shehu. But the people of Ibadan asked one question: where are the masters? The men in custody were just the gatekeepers. They were the ones paid peanuts to live in filth.
My lord, the accused could not make it to court today, and I pray for an
The
adjournment.
trial
to a later
dragged
date.
on, month after month, adjournment after adjournment. As the years passed, the anger faded. The suspects languished in Agodi prison. Some reports say key suspects died in custody before they could testify. The big men in the black jeeps, the ones who brought the money, they were never caught. They vanished into the shadows, leaving the madmen to take the blame. Today, the Oyo State Comprehensive Model School stands on that ground. Children laugh where victims once screamed. But the Soka story has one loose end that terrifies us. If this factory operated for 10 years and thousands of people went missing, where are all the bodies? Did they end up in shrines? Or did they end up on the tables of doctors abroad? Tell us what you think happened to the missing victims in the comments below. Soka taught Nigeria a terrifying lesson. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a madman begging for bread. If you enjoyed this investigation, hit the subscribe button. We are documenting the history others are trying to erase.